Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to 7th Street. Let's talk about bad movies. The term bad movies is extremely overused and extremely broad. I mean, some people consider big-budget Hollywood movies to be bad movies. And some people consider cult classics to be bad movies. I mean, every movie in my collection could be considered a bad movie.
So I think that it would be really beneficial if we took a quick moment to break down the different types of bad movies. First, you have good bad movies. Movies that are considered classics by fans but might not be appreciated by current mainstream audiences. Movies like Night of the Living Dead, Freaks, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Next, you have bad movies. Movies that are just all around bad. Movies like Zombie Lake and Lost Boys the Tribe. After that, you have fun bad movies. Movies that, by every conceivable measure, are bad, but yet they're still so entertaining. Movies like Troll 2 and Plan 9 from Outer Space. Then at the bottom of the barrel, you have the painful bad movies. Movies that are nearly unwatchable, like Manos the Hands of Fate.
Man, that has gotta suck.
But sometimes, a movie comes along that's so bizarre, yet so entertaining, yet so hilarious, but still so bad that you have no idea where to categorize it. One such movie is Shark Attack 3, Megalodon.
Unfucking believable!
Did you get it?
Yeah, Animal Planet, eat your heart out!
Yeah!
Oh god. There's just so much to say. I've seen this movie so many times. This review's really gonna be all over the place.
Shark Attack 3 Megalodon starts where any good shark movie would start. The middle of the ocean. Okay, so good so far, right? I mean, I'm still on board. The story thus far consists of a team of divers working on a deep-sea fiber optic cable, when back at the base, something large is picked up on their sonar.
We're 4 hours behind schedule.
Don't worry, we'll make up the lost time.
See if you can get him to pick up the pace.
It's about here, at the 3-minute mark, that we get our first sign that this is not going to be a good movie.
Down that deep? Impossible. Shouldn't be anything big enough to register.
Clearly, this actor's voice is dubbed. I mean, first of all, he's got a cigar in his mouth. There's no way we would be able to understand him that well. And secondly, nobody sounds like that. He sounds like a cross between Bluto and Al Pacino.
Get him out of there!
Don't worry, the other actors have the same quality of line delivery.
Porter, come in. Porter, where the hell are you?
Okay, let's just get this out of the way early. Most, if not all, of the scenes in this movie are dubbed. It's really jarring and really obvious in some places.
I heard it scared that girl so bad she ran all the way up to the street buck naked. Almost caused an accident.
So anyway, the movie cuts 6 months later to a Mexican resort. This is where we meet our main character.
Hasta mañana.
Our usual?
And here's yours.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Captain Jack from the television show Doctor Who.
Why do I let you talk me into things like this?
Because you're my bitch.
Stop right there. This is going to be the first of a few moments where I stop this review to explain why the television edit of this movie is so much more hilarious than the uncut version. So we all know that the Sci-Fi Channel loves to redub certain lines in the television cut.
I have had it with these monkey-fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Well, Shark Attack 3 Megalodon is the gold standard when it comes to ridiculous television dubs. The previous line,
Because you're my bitch.
in the television cut is, because you're my buddy. Oh god, what? One of my biggest regrets in life is actually throwing away my VHS copy of Shark Attack 3 Megalodon that I had recorded from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Anyhow, Captain Jack here discovers a shark's tooth stuck in an underwater fiber optic cable. He discovers this while out scuba diving for lobsters. Look, I'm no expert, but don't people usually use nets for lobster fishing?
I don't want to get fired. Come on. I don't think it's a good idea.
Unable to find what type of shark's tooth this belongs to, Captain Jack decides to take a picture and upload it to some sort of online shark forum.
My favorite part of this scene is the fact that he's taking a picture of the shark's tooth with this crappy little digital camera that's attached to his computer, and he's like in this super low light room, but somehow the shark tooth picture comes out as like this beautiful 3D scan portrait. Oh, and his fingers are missing from the picture.
Meanwhile, back in the United States, a marine biologist gets startled by a security guard.
You've been running around nonstop all day. Why don't you take a break?
This security guard cracks me up every time, man. What were they going for with this character? Why does he sound like Foghorn Leghorn? I honestly used to think that this character was supposed to be mentally handicapped.
Bonnie's been waiting 65 million years. I think she can wait a half hour.
I love this character's dialogue so much.
While you grab a sandwich.
Why don't you get a sandwich? Alright, I know that this review is already taking a little bit longer than normal, but I do have to stop to talk about one scene in particular.
Ah, so we've arrived at the random scene with the poorly dubbed old guy fishing for marlins. And for some reason in the background, there's this dude getting a hand job from a girl. I'm not joking. That's literally what's happening in this scene. This random guy who we've never met is getting jerked off by a girl who we've never met, while another guy we've never met is fishing.
Once I saw a Marley fight for 5 hours. 5 hours. 5 hours.
I really want to believe that this was a character choice by the actors. Like, the scene was written as all of them just sitting around fishing, and then the actors decided, you know, a hand job would really spice this scene up. This scene goes on for like 40 seconds until the shark comes along and bites the marlin in half.
And if all of that wasn't random enough for you, the scene literally ends with the fisherman pulling a half-eaten marlin out of the water and onto the boat, and then he says,
30 years.
30 years what? What 30 years? You've been doing this for 30 years? You've been trying to catch that marlin for 30 years? I've been watching this movie for 30 years? Why is this scene even here? There's not even a kill.
Oh, what happened?
The line must have broken. Reel it in.
So anyway, moving along, Captain Jack teams up with Cat Stone, the archaeologist, and yes, that is her character's actual name, Cat Stone.
Hi, I'm Cat Stone. I'm a marine biologist from the San Diego Aquarium.
And this is only after he figures out that she and her two videographer lackeys lied to him about the type of shark that it was, so that they could go capture some footage of it to study. These two guys are my favorite. Every scene that they're in is pure gold.
You like anything with a pair of tits, man.
That's true.
It is.
But you're the ass man, remember? And you'd do anything for that ass.
Fucking A right, man.
Come on.
In the television edit of this scene, he goes, "You'd do anything for a pair of lips, but you're the tail man, remember?"
Come on.
Our heroes, Captain Jack and archaeologist Cat Stone, set off on their mission to stop the shark and save the locals who continue to use the beach. Except, they don't do a very good job at it. I mean, the shark eats a parasailer, some dude with a speedboat, and a guy playing frisbee with his dog, all before Captain Jack and Kat even engage in any sort of combat with the Megalodon. And when they finally do,
they basically rip off Jaws. Yeah.
okay, do me a favor. Think of all the random blunt objects that one might have on their boat. Something that you could use to bludgeon a shark to death with. You know what I mean, right? Things like an oar, maybe a pole for a fishing net, a harpoon. You know what this motherfucker grabs? A baseball bat. Yeah, a fucking baseball bat. Look, I'm not claiming to be some genius screenwriter or anything, but doesn't that seem a bit lazy? It's like a baseball bat was the first thing that came to his mind, so he put it in the script. You really couldn't think of something a bit more logical that this guy would have on his boat?
There's just nothing quite like watching Captain Jack scream, "Die! Die!" as he bludgeons a shark with a Little League slugger.
Then comes Kat Stone's big moment, her time to shine. She grabs her shotgun, crams it in the shark's mouth, and delivers her obligatory action movie one-liner. Cool, shark's dead. I guess that means the movie's over now. I guess we should have seen that one coming. I mean, they did set up the fact that the first shark was just a baby, and that adult megalodons can grow up to be the size of Greyhound buses or whatever. Come on. You got it. So after just narrowly escaping the jaws of this prehistoric kaiju shark, Captain Jack and Kat Stone decide that they want to go back out to kill the shark using a mini-sub equipped with a torpedo that was stolen from the Navy over 25 years ago.
Why? Why not just tell the Army or the Coast Guard or something?
Okay, so the torpedo's hooked up and armed. Does that mean we're all ready to go?
You know, they say it's important to get a good night's sleep before going out on a mission to kill an aquatic dinosaur.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too, but, you know, I'm really wired. What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy?
And with that, Captain Jack proceeds to take her home and eat her pussy. The next morning, our ragtag team of shark hunters set out on their mission to torpedo the Megalodon. Meanwhile, a greedy capitalist resort owner holds a party for upscale investors on his super cool new cruise liner. I'm sure you can all see where this is going. So anyway, wrapping this movie up, Captain Jack sacrifices the sub by locking the torpedo onto it as a target, and then casually swims away just seconds before the impact. Boom! As our hero's lifeless body floats to the surface, Cat Stone, who had previously just been watching as the shark devoured passengers from the cruise liner, all from the comfort of a helicopter, leaps 20 stories to the water below to rescue her lover. Boy, he must really eat a mean pussy.
What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy?
And just as the credits are about to roll, the movie does leave us with one last one-liner.
Megala who?
Really? Megala who? That's the line that you want to end your movie on? Ugh. Look, if you haven't seen Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, do yourself a favor and check it out. It really does belong up there with The Room and Troll 2. It's just so brilliantly bad that it's just incredibly entertaining. I mean, you could talk for hours about this movie and still have something to talk about. I didn't even get to the best character in this film, this old dude named Chuck Rampart. So to close out this episode, I'm going to leave you with a scene featuring the best character in movie history.
You fucking knew!
Security! Security, get in here!
You knew. And you didn't warn them?
Calm down, Chuck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bullshit! It's all right here. The diving accidents. 7 men dead, including my friend. You knew something was dangerous down there and you let them dive anyway.
They knew it was risky. There were things that weren't accounted for out there.
Bull fucking shit!